I'm Kevin Mack, the head instructor of Krav Maga Nation, based out of Philadelphia. I'm just going to mention a few things today. They're more conceptual. The more conceptual aspects of things we do, from the very basic outlet stance in Krav Maga to a knife defense. There are concepts based on pressure, the connection to your opponent. These are things that I always mention to my students in between teaching techniques. When I teach techniques, there is maybe a straight punch, or maybe a front kick, or an elbow. Those are the techniques, and there's mechanics to those techniques, but then there's attributes. Attributes can be the speed of the punch, the distance, being able to close the distance, the rhythm, the strength, the power. Those are attributes based on the mechanics of the attack, the weapon. But then there's also concepts. And some of the concepts are applied in, gun defense, knife defense, where to put your hand, how to drive into the person. And I'm just going to mention a couple of those things. And I'm going to skim over. You're going to see a knife defense, but I'm only going to emphasize the concepts, the things I want you to think about. So I'm not actually teaching the knife defense technique. I'm not actually teaching, the stance as much as I would to a beginner student. So I hope this just kind of helps you think about things and maybe help you correct some mistakes, because I'll point out some of the common mistakes. Now, the video, the subject matter, and this is what I taught to my students tonight, which is stability and posture in fighting and self-defense. This applies to almost everything we do in Krav Maga. Now, traditional martial arts, Tai Chi, Kung Fu, you'll hear instructors talking a lot about posture and stability. They'll spend a lot of time, balancing, standing in your stance. We move on to that very quickly in Krav Maga. We'll teach a beginner class. I use a lot of my warm-ups, but it's the foundation to everything we do. You can't punch, kick, do knife defense, gun defense if your stability's off, if your posture, your balance. We're not always on a mat. Sometimes we're outside on gravel. When we kick, we're only on one foot for a split second when we kick, but if you don't have proper balance, that kick becomes compromised. And we also have multiple attackers, crowds, somebody pushing you. If you're off balance and can't stabilize your position, then the slightest movement, when you're engaging one person and you're off balance, that slightest movement throws you off balance. So you have to concentrate on these things. And these are things you can do at home. You don't spend an hour in class doing a balance drill. All right? It's very boring. So I always try to tell you things you can do at home. Some things you can think about how important balance is. We do a drill in this class in our warm-up. We'll have our students standing on one foot, and we have them kicking forward, to the back, to the side, forward, back, to the side. Most students, when they do this for the first time, they are falling back on their heel, they're rocking on the side of their foot, and they're losing their balance and stability. This has to do because people are letting their top part of their body, their head, dictate their balance. Their head goes back, they go on their back heel. They go to the side, they go on the side of their foot. And that's not what you should be thinking about. You should be thinking about your connection, and your connection to the ground. Now, the connection to the ground comes from the very first thing you learn in Krav Maga, which is your outlet stance. All right? Your outlet stance, this is neutral stance. Outlet stance is feet shoulder width apart, right leg back, just enough to slide a piece of paper under it. Your foot is in a natural stride here. It's not too far back, and it's not too close. It is back here. Your lead leg is turned slightly inwards to allow forward movement. But your hips are square onto your attacker. Your hands are up, your elbows are in. If your lead leg's forward, your lead leg hand is farther out. You're not here. You don't have boxing gloves to protect you, and you're not too extended. You are here. You're relaxed. Humerus is down. This utilizes the muscles in your shoulders, and you get fatigue. So you're here. All right? Now, on the balls of your feet, just like a runner, ready to go. Ball of your feet where the toes meet the top of the foot, that little padded area. You have to concentrate on that pressure, pushing down on the ball of your feet, ready to move forward. Everything we do in Krav Maga, whether it's a straight punch, left, right, stick defense, kick defense, bursting in with this kick defense, they're not little shuffles. A lot of students do that. They mess things up by too much footwork. All right? You need to burst in with one solid movement. Gun defense. Burst in, one solid movement. This is only successful and obtained if you burst in off the balls of your feet. So when you do this drill, something as basic in the warm-up as just standing on one foot and pushing down on the ball of your foot right there. That's the only thing you should be thinking about. And your head should be over that. So when you do this kick, The only thing you're thinking about is staying on the balls of your feet. Now, when you feel you've done that perfectly, close your eyes. And then you find out your stability is compromised a lot more. And I spent a lot of time on that, but it's just a lesson to learn how much of a role vision plays in your balance. So when you've been hit once, when you've been disoriented, find a point. Stay focused on that. So if you're maintaining your balance, trying to regain your stability, find a point. Like a pilot who's confused and trying to find the horizon, you find your fixed point on your attacker. All right? Don't look around when you're punching and kicking, because as you start to look around, your balance gets distracted. It gets thrown off. All right? So now, that's your outlet stance. It's a key to everything you do. You always try to stay in your outlet stance. Even if it's a neutral stance and you go into an attack, you stay in your outlet stance. Connection, I mentioned, your connection to the floor. I had a dance instructor explain one time that in learning how to dance, there's 3 points of connection. There's the connection between you and the ground, the floor. That's how you move, your mobility on the floor. The second connection would be the connection between you and your dance partner. The third connection is the connection between you and the music. So you're thinking about how you're connected to the ground, how you're connected to your partner, and how you guys are both connected to the music and the rhythm. And that applies to Krav Maga. There is a knife defense we have in Krav Maga against a backslash. I'm putting my hands out and I'm defending my forearms. Now, at this point in the attack, or my defense, there are 2 points of connection. All right? The obvious point of connection is here, and that's what a lot of people concentrate on. But they no longer concentrate on this connection. All right? This foot right here is where my drive's coming in. So when I'm defending, I'm not just defending with my arms. All right? I am defending with my whole body. I'm on the ball of my foot driving into him. If I am just defending with my arms, Jim, push into me. He pushes into me and I get off balance, my legs start to move around. I am using this position, I'm driving in to him to drive this pressure back. So with us, just like the dancer, I have a connection to me in the ground, and I have a connection to me and my partner. All right? Now the next connection will probably be, instead of music, the connection to you and the weapon. All right? But I don't want to overwhelm you with that. Posture. My outlet stance. If the knife attack is high, I defend high. If the knife attack is low, I don't bring my hands down low. I change levels at the knee, and I defend low. As my instructor, Alan Feldman, would say, the relative height stays the same. So my hands are here to protect my carotid, my vital areas, and they stay here. All right? Even if somebody punches low, I'm defending inside. I'm defending here. My hands stay the same. If I have to go down, you can practice this at home, is just go down to your knees and practice. All right? So the posture, my chin's down, my eyes are forward, my whole upper body is staying postured up. All right? So this happens, it stays like that. So that when this person slashes, my arms aren't down, I'm not extended, I'm not leaning over, I am postured up, and my posture stays the same. All right? And this happens for a lot of things we have to do. Even if he swings and I bob and weave, my posture stays the same the whole time. When I went down, I didn't go down and move my hands down. I went down, my posture stayed the same, boom, and then I burst in. And that's the only way you can get that power to negate the attack. Then pressure. Pressure and hips. To speed it along, I'll talk about both of those. As soon as I defend, I don't let go. I don't give up that pressure. A lot of people do that. They hit, and then they just slowly do this and try to do a disarm or a lock. My pressure, that explosive movement, happens here. No matter what I do, whether it's a lock like so, I am keeping the pressure. I'm driving his hand back. If there should be a red line here. The knife never goes back across that red line. If this was like a freeze-frame documentary or DVD, you would see a line coming here. So when I'm doing this disarm, I'm sliding my hand down and pushing this knife away from me. Then this hand comes into this lock. or the more traditional way in Krav Maga, which would be snapping down, punching, grabbing for the cavalier, and attacking. At no time did I let go of the pressure to try to do a fancy lock or a cavalier. I didn't bring this hand towards me to do the lock. I am staying to the outside. So no matter where you go, there should be like a V. Like when you're holding tie pads, you don't hold it like so, you hold it like this. So when he swings and I go down, and then if I come up, I can defend here. And I'm not teaching you to bob and weave under knife attacks. No, we have other defenses, we use our hands. I'm just showing you posture, and as you come around, you're exploding in. So say he starts the slash, and I fade back, and now I explode in, boom, I'm here. A lot of mistakes people make is they step, let's go through, fade, and they'll step this way, push into me, all right? This is compromised. I have no pressure here, no power, and the knife is way too close to me. Here, even if I want to just negate the disarm, forget about it, I can hang out, take off the other direction. So there's like a V to the outside. So as he backslashes to me, I'm going here. Not giving up pressure at all. Always pushing it away, even when I do the disarm. Even when I do the disarm, he's feeling that pressure. And if you've checked out any of my other videos, there's a video of a technique you can do at home. If I'm just holding his hand here, do you feel any pressure? No? Lift up, lift up, lift up. All right, let go. My posture didn't change. Now, do you feel any pressure?
Yes.
Do you feel any weight?
Yep.
Now he feels my entire body on him. My posture didn't change at all. It's a slight shift of the weight. I can feel the pressure on the ball of my foot right now, and I'm holding it down. So when I'm here, when he feels that, he's feeling my entire weight behind him. My elbow to the outside of his elbow. It's not just this, using your arms and manipulating arms. It is posture, pressure, that dynamic connection to the ground, that dynamic connection to the person, your person who's attacking you. I'm putting pressure on the ball of my foot right now, driving in, and I'm driving in with my forearms, and he's feeling pressure, never extending my arms, never allowing to get too close. Here, the relative height stays the same, and I'm driving in no matter what I do. Even if I let go to snap down, boom, I'm here. If I push the hand down to do the lock, I am here. That is all my pressure, all right? If you find yourself going to the other direction and you're in your outlet stance and your left leg is forward and you backslash and defend, this is kind of wrong. Even if you kind of are here, it's a successful defense, but very early on, you should hip switch so that you can drive the hip there. So even if my left leg is forward and I defend because that's quicker, he should start to feel my hip putting the weight towards my thumb into him so that I can adjust and come here and go to the dead side. So if he was the lead leg and we had opposite leads and he slashes that way, so I fade back and I have to go this way, I'm driving in.